Hello, everybody. Welcome. We're glad you're here, and I apologize for my misspelling. uh, Trying to do more than one thing at a time. Hello, Leslie. We're happy to have you here. And for all of you who are coming in, be sure to let us know by writing something in the chat. It's really nice to be able to see who's here. So I want to introduce to you April Nimick, who's with me today. And yeah, April has been a part of TT for quite a while now. And her great love is the luminaries. So we're going to have fun with the luminaries today. You might be able to kind of see in the background up on her wall, she has luminaries all the way across the back up there. And then she's doing with the smaller ones, she's doing some artwork, which I have some of that, and it's in my little art gallery here in the hallway between the bedroom and the other room. And also Sid, who does art, I have her pieces up there too. So I have a little bit of the TT energy up on the wall here. So really fun to have that. Well, hello, Will. Welcome. So we're going to go ahead and get started. What we've been planning to do now, and we've been doing this now for since the beginning of the month, is that on the first of the month, I do focus for the month. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. And then we'll go into some specifics for this week, which starts today. So, hello, Opa. We're glad you're here. So we're really interested in hearing from you and what kinds of things you think of as we're talking about this. So, if you remember, and some of you I know put these cards out for the whole month, but we have for this month the lesson in turquoise. And we're going to be talking a little bit about that. And then there's the luminary called Spheres of Intention. And this is a really very important luminary for this month and probably from here on out. And then we also have another card that we picked for the next 7 days. And we'll talk about that. But I really want to stay on this monthly information because it was jam-packed and it's really important kinds of things. So the lesson in turquoise is be prepared for changes, allow adaptation. So April, what kinds of changes are you seeing for yourself individually or for the world or whatever it is that you happen to be noticing?
Well, one of the themes that has come up this month is acceptance for me. And a lot of that has to do, yes, internally, but also on the outside, just accepting what is going on, but yet being with my own life and not, getting emotional about what's going on outside.
Yeah, that inside outside world is so important because we are here to help create an energy that will lift up the world. And actually, we have been going through a portal and that moving into a whole new frequency and also evolving. And the earth is evolving and we're evolving. And so it means that we have to be very adaptive. And I know that some days I wake up feeling nauseous, and then I have to deal with that before I can really get into my day. And then some days I'll have lots of energy, and then other days I'll go, oh, I just want to go back to bed. And it's it's not usual for me because most of the time I have a lot of energy, unless I've taken on somebody else's energy, which I still do sometimes, even though I'm very vigilant about that. because it doesn't help us to take on somebody else's energy. So this adaptation is just noticing that the things that are evolving are really kind of interesting and that we want to be available for that. And I want to tell you about an experience that I had because I think we're going to have transformational experiences that are going to be very unique. And maybe sometimes they'll have somewhat of the same theme, but we may have experienced them differently. So I had an issue that had come up in a relationship, and that issue was not dissolving. I could still feel it. And I had done a lot of work on myself to find out what my part in it was. And we went, Peter and I, my husband and I went to a concert. And these are really wonderful people in this concert. And they were playing show tunes and they were really good singers. And I just kind of went into the music. And partway through this thing, I felt something dissolving in me. Now, probably, unless you've been paying attention to what the energies that are in you, some people might not notice it, but I did. And a lot of you I know noticed the changes. The thing about this was it was so subtle and it was dissolving with such ease. And it was like just the energy of it was so loving. And by the end of the concert, whatever that was had just melted away. And what I found in me is the place where I'd still felt that something was not not tied up, but was not resolved. All of a sudden, it didn't matter. Whatever that was gone for me. And I've never had transformation go on exactly like that. So that was really an interesting experience. But I think that that is also the changes that were going on, the transformations that we're experiencing. And so, sometimes adaptation can be difficult. But I think it's getting to the place where when we allow it, can be very natural and easy and feel very safe. April, does that fit with anything that you have experienced as far as?
Yeah, actually it does. I'm going through that now. Besides changing physically, I'm in a different phase in my life. Everything else internally is shifting. I think to go along with that, and also just what's happening naturally outside. And I think that now we are able to break up a lot of the old things a lot easier and quicker than we were before. At least that's what I'm going through on my end.
Yeah, and a lot for me is about the frequency of the energies that we're working with. And one of the things I love about the luminaries in specific, but also the color cards have a more generalized experience for us, although some of the ones have a really high frequency. But the luminaries give us a combination of color and geometry, and it has a layers and layers, and that takes us into different frequencies. And I'm noticing that what I feel around me is along that same line. It's like layers and layers and layers. And sometimes it's true when you're finding out what needs to shift, you have to go down some layers into that unconscious place. And then I think once we recognize it and we just ask for help, and I ask for help from the colors all the time. and just allow it, then it can be very, very easy and very lovely. So let's just move on now to the idea of the human matrix is evolving. So, do you have any idea, April, what human matrix is for you?
Human matrix to me is basically what I see outside of myself with my physical eyes. Um, and but that's not necessarily what's going on the inside. So that's kind of how I look at it. I'm thinking of the movie, so
I
of the
know,
ma-
I was
I'm
too,
trying,
and you
I'm trying
know
to think
that.
the red pill and the blue pill. So they're like two different worlds, like inward and outer, and what we see on the outer is not necessarily what's really going on. So
And I think of it so often as what's in my body and energy field. And I feel it as something that is holding into place uh, a lot of things. But health has a lot to do with it. If we can have a matrix that is all about keeping things in balance and working with the body instead of against it and all that kind of thing, that's a big part of our health. And so when I think of the matrix and this way of being in wholeness, it feels really good because it's like I feel like every person has their own particular matrix, and
mhm.
it's dependent on a lot of things. But it's just really interesting to see what it is comes out of that matrix, and that matrix is evolving, and so it's going to change as we change. And then the what's happening around the earth is going to also change according to how we change. I feel like we don't even realize what an impact we have on the energies around the world. And if we can do what you said, April, and stay in a more neutral place, it doesn't mean that you're not paying attention because we know what's going on around the world. And we are very aware of how uh, some of it is so appalling. And the biggest thing is if we get into that place that says, "Oh, it's so terrible," and then we feel like there's nothing we can do, then our energy goes down. So I think if we think of it as we are evolving, the earth is evolving, and we are making the intention that the evolution will take us to the highest and best place for humanity. Because when I see that highest and best place, it's people that you've known that just come from love so easily because that's where they are, who they are, and it's what we are naturally that. And so many times we've been programmed to be other than that, and so taking time to really pay attention to when we've lost our alignment inside and go back to where is that natural me inside of here. I think that's really important. Um, then the other thing that I was thinking about in terms of this evolving is, are you feeling more clear than before or a little bit lost? So any of you who are here, go ahead and put something in the chat about that, because it's, and maybe some days you're feeling more clear and other days you're feeling lost. So it's not like it continues. What would you say about that, April? For where are you right now in terms of, are you feeling more clear, or are there some things that are unclear that you're dealing with?
Well, I I'm not like seeing an end result, but I feel like I'm going naturally the direction that I need to be going in to get there. I don't have a clear picture. I just have a feeling like this is the way I'm supposed
Nice.
to go. I don't have oh, this is the end all. So
Yeah.
it's kind of
Well, I
going with
think,
the flow.
yeah, and I think that that's a really important point because you can't force it. you know,
Mm-mm.
and if you resist it, that's a different kind of force, and it doesn't allow it to flow then. So the other thing I was going to, that's kind of all that I'm going to say about the August cards. Oh, spheres of intention. I did want to talk about that. This one has to do with taking your intention, putting it in the center of this card, and then you see how the energy goes out from there, and it creates these beads around in circles around the outside. It's like it's like your intention then can birth other groups of intention or different areas in your life that are part of that intention. And one of the things that came up in this month around the spheres of intentions is that this is one sentence that came through. It's not in the book about spheres of intention, but it's what came through me as I was working on it. It said, gather together to build the energy into an impactful wave. So that's another thing we can do in the world, is be a part of groups that create an impactful wave that can bring the frequency up, that can give people hope. Because sometimes when we're in a group together, we can kind of help each other. So so that's what, well, we have a message here from Wynn. Sometimes lost and sometimes clear. A lot of stops and starts, resistance at times. Yeah, that's really true. And then Will says, pretty clear here. It has been obscure lately at times. The clarity seems to be flowing well now. Yeah, I really feel like there are times when it feels like it's flowing, and then there are times where we feel like it's pretty bumpy. And then in this group kind of thing, you can, when you have other people that you're working with similar intentions, you can really help each other. And that is one of the reasons that we created our subscription group that's called the Vortal. And in that group, we get to know each other really well, and we get to find out that there are other people that feel things the way we do, or that have insights that are helpful to us. So I hope that you will go to transformationaltools.com, and on that homepage, you can read about the Vortal. And if you felt kind of at loose ends and feeling like you need some more people who kind of are in that place of creating a hopeful atmosphere, that's what you will find there. And it's just $7 a month, so it's really affordable. And I do a presentation, which then turns into a group discussion. And then I have upcoming, let's see, the last week of the month on Tuesday, I will be doing an online class that's called Journal with Your Knowing Self. And that's how we get real good information from inside of us. So you can go ahead and put that down, April. And so is it OPA or OFA? I'll have to see if she can tell us, or he, I don't know. I've been feeling like I'd like to join a group. Okay, I really hope you join us. This is a place where you can really feel good. The intention of all my work is that I begin to realize that the people that were attracted to my work are ones who are highly sensitive and intuitive and pretty much psychic, and that they haven't really felt like it was very safe in the world, or that they needed to not be in the outside world, who they are in the inside. And for me, there is so much genius in the people that are in that place of being highly sensitive and intuitive and psychic. And we are the ones that we're looking for, because we are the ones that can start making a big change in this world. So please come join us. That would be wonderful. We would love to have you with us. And do let me know. I think you have before, but let me know again how to pronounce your name. Oh, it's a PH as an F. Okay. OFA. Okay. Great. Thank you. All right. So that I want to take a little breather here for a moment to let you know that we're in the process of shifting some things at TT that I think are going to be very exciting. And as it happens, I will let you know on the Energy Focus of the Week because it's part of what's available through the energy now. And it's a really good time to do some adapting if this is something that is right for you. So, April, let's now go to the other card that was for this week. I had it laid out. Where did it go? So it's the Strength in Silver. Oh, here it is. Okay. Yeah, you've got it too. Good. All right. So the thing that I wanted to emphasize in the Strength in Silver are two messages: cherishing and intent. So, April, what does cherishing mean to you?
Cherishing to me means holding something, either a memory or something tangible, holding it dear to my heart.
Yeah, and I think cherishing has such a wonderful frequency to it. It's just so heartfelt. Like you said, you hold it close to your heart. And it's a two-way street, I think. We need to learn more about cherishing ourselves. And then I think we become more likely to cherish others around us. And cherishing means that we have a place for people however they are. In other words, it's not a place where you have judgment, but it's a place where you have acceptance. And yes, there maybe be some people that you would like to spend more time with than others, but just accepting a person where they're at means so much to them. And also, you learn a lot yourself if we can do that. So, how are you doing, April, at cherishing yourself, and what does that mean to you?
Cherishing myself. Well, for me, a lot of it involves reflection, which I also put with the color silver. They go together. A lot of reflection on people, places, things, events, that were meaningful to me and how they impacted my life on my journey. So,
Another thing I'm just thinking, April, that I think is about cherishing ourselves is, well, I did a talk recently about mantras, and I was looking at mantras that lift us up and mantras that are in our unconscious that may be keeping our energy at a low place. And part of the cherishing is being willing to allow the unconscious to come up, because the first piece of healing is when we are able to see what is there and even say it out loud, or say it to a friend, or say it to yourself, and you begin to realize what's there, and that opens the door for healing. So cherishing means not being unwilling to look at something that may be difficult. You always have to be sure that you can do it um, in a safe situation. So I always feel like if it's something really deep, you might want to have a counselor or a good friend or someone that you trust that you can talk about it with them. And but cherishing yourself means that you really look at both the things that give you such joy and the things that just keep rubbing underneath the surface and maybe come up in dreams or something like that. So, is there anything else you want to say about cherishing?
um, just notice what you were saying about dreams. Notice what's coming up in dreams more recently. I think that's pretty important. I think we're
Yeah.
getting good messages to kind of look at that go along with cherishing.
No,
And
sometimes my dreams are not really nice dreams, but I love taking a color. I'll go in because this is like what I do in my time that I'm not asleep. But if I'm in a dream and I'm like, this does not have a message. This is just an energy that I don't need to have. And I'll just say, if there were a color that could go and just flood itself over this and dissolve what's there, what color would it be? And I'm telling you, within seconds, that has moved away. And if there's something there that I'm supposed to pay attention to, it's not going to dissolve. Whatever that piece is will still be there for me, available for me to see. Well, let's go on to intent. What does intent mean for you, April?
intent to me is what I'm feeling towards whatever it is that I'm wanting or desiring.
And that intent seems to me, if it can come from that inside world, if it can come from a soul level, then we have the opportunity to attract to us something that's really right for us. And that's kind of the way the world is, that we don't even realize for a while in life that what we put out in terms of words, what we put out in terms of energy, it all comes back. And so I'm just going to ask those of you who are in the chat if you would just say what cherishing means to you and maybe how you use intent, because I think it's really nice to hear from all of you of the kinds of things that are going on for you. And then what we will do is to begin to move into doing some little readings for people. So I've got Leslie and Will and Wynn and Ofa. Let's see if there are any others there that we're missing. I think we have them all. Now I see that there are 6 people here. Now that may be because one of you is on both the Facebook and the YouTube. By the way, I would really appreciate it if you would go into YouTube and find Transformational Tools and just subscribe. And you can go there. That's where you'll find the energy focus of the month. And you can go there and also watch energy focus of the week. And as long as you put something in the chat, we can see you there. So let's just see if anybody brings something up. And while we're doing that, I think we have time to pick a card from each deck for people. So April, why don't you pick a luminary for Leslie?
Okay.
Oh, there you are. Okay. Is that pronounced Sil? C-I-L? Is that Sil? Let me know if it needs to be pronounced a different way. Thanks for letting me know, Sil.
So I have dawning.
Oh, nice. Okay. So when you know the luminaries pretty well, what does that mean? What does the whole frequency of dawning mean for Leslie when you tune into her energy?
I'm feeling a new beginning, maybe a new project in the works. Yeah. Just something bubbling inside.
Nice.
That needs to come forth.
I like that. Well, I think that this fits really well with it. I see Julia's here. Thanks for letting us know. She says, I cherish what I hold dear to my heart. Thank you. Yes, the cherish is really a lot about the heart energy. Now, for you, Leslie, you have the lesson in magenta, and it's Release the Burdens of the World. I think more than anything, we have such a heart for people. And some people are just having such a hard time in the world that it's sometimes difficult not to take on that energy. But it's almost like we have to remind ourselves that the best thing that we can do is to help to ask for help. And magenta is a wonderful color. Say the Middle East, we can let's just send magenta to just cover over the Middle East and help with ending that conflict there and bringing about peace for the people that live there. And that's for everybody that's in that area. And we really can put that around the whole world. Magenta could help us with shifting what's out there. So Will says, cherishing is an intimate act of experiencing our deepest heart's most tender and sensitive affection. Yeah, that's so true. And Ofa says, that was meant to be in my past post. When I heard the word cherish, a nice, warm, gentle feeling comes up in my heart, and the thoughts of seeing something as very precious. Oh, I like that. The thoughts of seeing something as very precious. And Sil says, cherish means holding someone or something or a memory, firstly in my mind and into my heart space. Thank you for that, Sil. That's word wonderful. Yeah. So, Leslie, what we're seeing for you, and I think you've had a awakened before, or dawning, and dawning, and then the magenta. I know that the magenta, you know how to work with that magenta, and maybe we need to use one of our tools with magenta for the whole world. You know, there's one that we do where you see a dream catcher or like a tennis racket that has lines through it, and magenta is there and around that, and then also part of the strings, but also lime green, which is its complementary color. And then you just bring that down through your energy field and ask it to dissolve anything that is not in the right highest place for you. And I always saw it as kind of like a bug zapper. When you get to something place where the energy's stuck, it goes zzz, zzz, and it just helps you to restore the flow in your energy. And Will says, our purified intent makes our world. It is the abstract forces of the universe tamed into a personalized power. Ooh, that's deep. Purified intent. I would say that's probably when it comes from that deep place inside where it's at the soul level. And that it is the abstract forces of the universe tamed to a personalized power. Interesting, because there is a power to intent. When we're putting something out, it doesn't matter what frequency it is, we attract that frequency back. So we have to be very careful about having a purified intent. That's really important. All right, so now let's go ahead and go forward here. So Will is next. So why don't you pick a color card for Will, and I'll pick a luminary for him. Okay.
I have magenta.
Is it the strength or the lesson?
It's the strength, compassionate, and healing. So kind of what you were talking about.
Yeah, yeah. Well, along with that, I picked the luminary, which is, all right, you tell me if this one is the last one in the book.
Oh.
Ecstasy.
Oh,
Ecstasy. So, and one of the lines in ecstasy that I think is always important is because we think ecstasy means you have to wait until you're in some particular uh, way of seeing the world or whatever. But one of the things that came through me as I was writing the book for the luminaries is that it's, let's see. Oh, it says ecstasy is a state of mind. That's what ecstasy is telling us, that energy of ecstasy. Ecstasy is a state of mind, a way of responding to the world. Choose me, especially when there seems no reason for me to be present. Choose me because you can. Choose me because I bring out what lies dormant within your being. Experiencing me is a burst of flavor. Presence ignited. You can be that. So I know that Will has been through some things, and I think that he really did do that, a lot of choosing where he was going to be at in that process. So lovely, lovely, lovely. Anything else you want to say about that, April, for Will?
Um, I just see the ecstasy is going beyond joy, so going deeper into consciousness. So
Deeper into
doing,
consciousness. That's really that's Will.
yeah. And then with the magenta, I mean, these two are like a beautiful pair, and the strength.
Beautiful pair. Beautiful pair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We've got Win here. So why don't you pick a luminary for Win? I don't think that's Winneray, but maybe a Win that I don't know. So Win, tell me if I have known you before, and remind me if I have. Let's see, where is Win? Win 2425. Okay, so what'd you find?
Love child.
Oh, nice. Okay, so let's feel into Win's energy and see. Okay, so this fits with that. This is a lesson in orange. And as I'm feeling Win's energy, it seems like there have been some, well, I feel some sadness and some maybe burnout, or at least feeling very tired. So when this orange can really help you, orange and blue, they're complementary colors, and we use them to balance things out. So you might ask orange and blue to really move through your belly area and begin to bring some balance to some things that you're feeling. And then what would you say about the luminary along that line?
I would say be very kind to yourself while you're working with whatever it is that's going on. And just think of it as a child, and that child is you, and just be very kind to yourself. And let whatever is coming up, just let it come up and then release it.
As best you can, because
Yeah.
sometimes it's tough. But again, just allowing the colors to work with that is really a helpful thing to do. And for those of you who would like to learn more about the colors, we'll be doing the beginning color course in the fall, and you can come and learn how to use those colors for the balance, because really it's the stuck energy that we want to deal with, because that's where a lot of the hurt is. It's where things need to be resolved. Okay, let's work with Ofa. I will pick a luminary. Why don't you pick a color card for Ofa?
Ooh, the lesson in blue, speak your truth from deep within.
And that, do you feel it's speaking for this person, or is it about opening up to their own voice, or what do you feel about that?
I feel opening up to their own voice.
Opa, this luminary is about awakened. So it's not about awakening, it's about awakened. So you really want to pay attention to the parts of you that are awakened. And this may have something to do with you being able to express something inside of you that's really important. Do you get anything else for that, April?
Just what it says, speak your truth from deep within. And maybe that doesn't mean speaking it out loud, but saying it to yourself inside as well, because there's sometimes when you can't be speaking the things that come up. It's just not
and
right.
you can also express it in art, or express it in music, or there are lots of ways to express it. And sometimes that's how you heal the orange, because the blue of the throat and the orange of the belly, which is the emotions, are complementary colors, and they can help each other, allowing what's coming up from emotions to be expressed. And the other thing is that blue is about bringing calm and peace, and that can also help. Okay, Ovis says, I understand this very much. I'm listening to my heart more and being more creative with color. Oh, I'm so happy for you. Yes, color is wonderful. And I see you're spelling color with a O-U. So that's I always love to see that. We have color all over the world. All right, so let's go ahead and pick some cards for Syl. Do you want to pick a luminary? All right, what have we got for Syl?
Illumination.
Oh, I love that card. Oh, and then I got the Strength in Pink. Okay, so how do those two go together?
Let's see.
So I believe that. Go ahead.
What did you
go
get? Ahead.
No, I was just thinking that the Strength in Pink is so wonderful because it's that soft energy that's actually so strong. People think that pink isn't powerful, but it can go through areas where there's lots of hurt and lots of things going on. And it can be such a healing energy there. And then you got, what was it you got?
Illumination.
Ah.
And I look at the green and I see healing. And then with pink is so strong and kind. And I see that as part of the healing.
I think you have red or magenta up, not pink. Is that pink? It may be just the colors on the computer.
Let's see. It says strength, compassion, and healing.
That says innocent, trusting, and loving. That's one of the things about the colors.
Yep. Yeah. You're right.
There you go.
There we go.
The light green is the complement to the pink. Okay, well, Syl says she loves pink. I'm so glad you love pink because it is such an important one. Oh, you know what else, Syl? That has a lot to do with your life purpose. That energy, wow, that energy is you. That is oftentimes what I find is that the color that people like best is really their strength. And sometimes that has to do with their life purpose, or sometimes it's that you've gone through a really hard time and that energy begins to be a real strength inside of you. All right, well, that was fun. Okay, Julia. So why don't you pick a color card and I'll pick a luminary for Julia. So nice to have Julia here. I got dawning again. What did you get?
I've got the strength in brown.
I
nurturing,
love that. I
safe, and
love that.
earth connected. And this one is
So
brown.
as you feel into Julia's energy, what do you feel about the brown? What is brown wanting to say to her?
Grounded, getting grounded.
And you know what else I feel is it's about noticing the amazing energy that is the earth, not just getting grounded in it, but being aware of how nurturing it is, really nurturing, and how that's a really important piece for you right now, Julia. And this dawning means that kind of like what was going on for Leslie, is that new things are coming up or expanding. And this is the time to really pay attention to what is happening, because there are, I don't know, there's like gifts in there. There are surprises in there. So just be aware of what is coming up through you. I always think of dawning as like the uh, sun coming of the dawn. It's almost like this energy comes up through us and we feel it just bringing something with it. So if you can, Julia, come to the Journal with Your Knowing Self, because I think that you would really have fun journaling with this luminary and finding more about what it is that's dawning for you. All right. Well, that is our group for today. It's lovely to have all of you here. I love hearing from you too and giving us some additional input there. So, Ofa, I'm going to be looking for you. Come in on the portal and have a good time with. Oh, Candy's here. Okay. So let's see. Let's do a one card for Candy because it's kind of getting late. So why don't you pick a luminary for Candy?
Integrity.
Okay, so let's just oh, Sil, you're so welcome. And you too, Julia. Candy, let's see. Put it up again. So, all right, what are you getting for that one? This one's called integrity. I feel like Candy's being pushed really hard in some way. Integrity is about wholeness. Sometimes when we're getting pushed, maybe in a job or maybe in some way and from your family or something that's going on. So Candy, what I would suggest for you is to take a lot of deep breaths, move back down into your center, and see yourself as a wholeness from the center. You're welcome, Ofa. So does that go with anything that you're getting for Candy?
Yeah, and just to stay centered in your being, when things arise.
Yes.
Don't lose focus of who you are.
That's what it is. That's what it is, April. Because when you get pushed, sometimes you don't stay within your own integrity. And not that you do bad things, but you just don't feel good about yourself if you're not staying in that center. All right, so we have a quick question from Sil. She says, I'm in Washington for the summer. And are you making any public appearances? I'm not, but I do quite a bit online. So go to Transformational Tools and just remind me there and sign up for our newsletter because I have all the information of what's coming up. Plus, if you join the Vortal, you get the whole list, and a lot of things are free for you as part of the Vortal. Okay, right on point, says Candy. There's so much going on. Okay, so Candy, take those deep breaths, take care of yourself, get into that center, live from your integrity. Don't let the other energies and people push you around. And that doesn't mean you have to fight them. It just means be aware that if you're taken off of your center, it's up to you to get that back. And we're here to help you. You know, I do individual sessions. Leslie, who's here with us, does readings. And so there's lots of help here. So please come and let us know that you would like some help. Love you all, and thank you for coming. Please come every week. I love your energy here. I love having you with us. And April, it's been such a wonderful opportunity for us to do this together. I am so glad that this worked out. So we will be doing this again. All right, everybody, take care, and we will be around, and we will be available however we can help you. Bye for now.